Welcome back. My name is Mark Anthony Dubose Jr. I was born July 4th, 1986. I want to say thank you for tuning in. What I want to talk about today comes down to something that I know is very concerning to a lot of people. And that's the concept of dogs keep attacking my dog. My dog gets really, really nervous because these dogs keep attacking my dog. And it's something that, I've got two sides here. I've got one side of it that I got a dog here that I don't know what it is, but years before, it's been a good 6 months. Not really, but last weekend a dog did bum rush getting in his face and kind of looked a little hostile, but he's know how to deal with it today better. But I have a dog here that's been attacked. Dogs have bit him. His muzzle's gotten bitten, broken blood is bleeding everywhere. He's been bitten in his hindquarters. That he's been bit by dogs. Just dogs off this property, dogs on the trail, dogs in places, dogs they've done crazy stuff to this dog. But it's very interesting that all of that's happened to him, and he just bounces back like nothing. Even though I get a little nervous sometimes, I don't really get nervous anymore, but even when I would get nervous, this dog would just bounce back. He could literally have a dog bite him in his face and look at that dog 5 seconds later like, what's up, buddy, being a play? It's very fascinating. It's such an interesting thing. But then I got a dog on the other side of that spectrum that something has happened to him before I even got him. And that's just Johnny Man here. Before I even got him, he's always been suspicious of other dogs. And he always has this like, I'm gonna use this word because it's just the best word to use. He feels like he needs to get the one up before it gets him. He needs to be the one that's in charge to let the other dog or the other thing, because it's not even just dogs. And in reality, it may have been something that I messed up with having him too soon, but he would escape a lot, I'm gonna say, when I first got him on this property. And he would come and try to chase these animals. And he would try to chase the donkey. And he realized really quick that don't do that. So in reality, when he sees these cows, he's always, I need to get a one up on them before they can get to me. But he's never successful because he's never good. He's not that type of dog. He's not capable of being able to do that. What he's capable of doing is just figuring out, yeah, let's just hang out. Let's just be at a neutral stance because I'm not going to be able to win in this battle. Where he still loves the semi-try. He'll try with the girls and the little baby here, but he won't try with the bull anymore. He just like accepts defeat, I'm going to say. And it's come down to just who he is. Kai, get off of him. It comes down to who he is. He's just uncomfortable. He's uncomfortable right now with a lot. And he's tethered together with this dog, and he's always trying to like be one up on him. He's always like, every video you might probably see him playing with Shadow. He's my Great Pyrenees. He's always like eyeballing him. He never does that to the Pyrenees, and he never does it to the Dalmatian, because those two have already told him, we're not taking your crap, basically. But he always has this, I need a one up. And it's something that I've been dealing with since the day I got him. And I've realized that this is the hardest part. This is the hardest part. It's valid for him to be that way, that something happened to him that traumatized him before I got him. And then when he got here, he started thinking he could just chase the cows, watching my border collie do it. And he realized that he couldn't. And everything just started going completely downhill for him. And for me, it's something that I'm going to say is it's valid. It's okay for him to be able to feel that way. And as for me to just understand and accept the reality of not every dog wants to meet any dog in reality. Not every dog is a dog that I could we're going to go to the dog park today. He may, but this may be even years from now. Where today, he's not that type he's going to go there and just put pressure on all the dogs. And then a fight is going to happen because he's insecure is all that I could say. A tough dog, a tough person, a tough being, they just stand there, man. They just hang out. That's what my bull does. He just stands there. He's like, he knows who's tough right away. He knows what's a tough animal, what's a tough person even. He won't move for everybody. And he knows he's tough, he's secure. But when you're not, you have to like put a show on. You have to like do extra. You have to do the most. And this is the part with me that for him, unfortunately, but fortunately, I work him through that. And I understand that. So for me, with him, when I take him out in public, I know that he doesn't like dogs coming up to him. So I do I do everything absolute possible to make sure that dog doesn't get near my dog. And someone might say that might be hard to do, but if this dog is, because this is a dog here, like personally, I let him off leash in certain areas, but I don't let him off leash running. Not to say that I don't trust him, he doesn't trust his own self, what he's gonna do capable or anything that's gonna happen to him. He doesn't trust himself. So he's not a dog that I just let explore and go off. If I'm deep back in a certain area at a certain place that I know nothing's around, I let him off. I'm fine. I don't care. But if I know there's going to be even a person, anything around, he's on a 6-foot leash with me all the time. That's just what this dog gets. It's what he has. And in reality, when he's like that, he's more comfortable. He's more confident. He's more relaxed. He's more chill. Even like right now, he doesn't really like this dog, which he doesn't really like any of my dogs at the end of the day. He just deals with them. He's not buddies with any of them. He's just the outcast dog. But me even just having him on leash right here, he's gonna be a little stressed, but nowhere near when I let him be free next to these cows. This dog would, you've seen him in my videos. He's on the move, he's on the go. So this is a part with me of just understanding what your dog is and capable of your dog. And I'm gonna say some things and make it seem like, oh, just give up on the dog, you know, my dog's never gonna this, never gonna that. No, you just need to understand the only word I could use there is the capability. Kahi, you kicking homie in the face, man. Get off my homie. Understand the capabilities of what that dog is actually capable of doing. It's something as simple as I'm gonna say right here, with something as simple as what I just do and something as simple as what I just got done doing. I'm a runner, I run. And I'm talking running. I'm trying to get semi-competitive with a marathon running pace to be able to do these big races to make some money. I run, I run. I'm that guy that no one really ever sees, it's running. You usually see people just moseying along doing, no, I run. And in reality, I've been born and been capable of doing that. My body's been set up to do that since I was born. But there's other people, straight up, it's almost impossible for you to do what it is that I do. I don't care how much you work at it. You're just not gonna be able to do a 26 mile, a 50K, a 100K race that I'm trying to get into next because I really like the ultra stuff. That's just not you. That's not you. But yet, if you try to fight it, you're just gonna destroy yourself in reality. It's straight up, that's what's gonna happen. You're gonna hurt yourself to the point that you can't even walk anymore. It's just not what you're about, not who you are, not what your mentality is, not what you can even get your mind to process through to be able to do. It's just not who you are. And that's the same thing that I noticed with dogs, is some dogs are just extremely great at excelling at certain things, and other dogs, no. Like this dog, he is not the type of runner like my Dalmatian is. I am never, ever, even just his size alone is awkward enough that I straight up, I limit how hard and fast that he can run because his body's not meant for it. Same with this dog, I limit how how hard that's why I don't really like playing with the ball and string with him too much and just get him to just chase it hard, because his body's not set up to just like be obsessive and just go all out. They like to just run. They just run the graceful. Where the Dalmatian and the Border Collie, it's impressive, my goodness. They can go 100 max, just crazy. If their bodies is set up for it, they're capable of being able to do that. When I watch my Pyrenees run, he's got this, so many Pyrenees, they walk so funny. But it's like watching him run is it's the weirdest thing, because that's not what he's supposed to do. That's not what they're about. And it doesn't only just come down to like exercise type things and also the mental games that they're able to do, but just certain things that the dog just has happened to them that it may not come back from it. We can get it to the point that I can get my dog to do pretty much any and everything, but there's gonna be extra that I have to put into it, I'm gonna say. Where the extra I have to put in with this dog is, I keep him on leash. We're fine, we're good to go. Because he feels confident knowing that if he's on leash, because he's always close enough. Some of the trails get a little sketchy because they get tight and we're in each other's faces. But I'm quick to just like, I don't care. I got no shame in the game. When I got a dog, my dog with me and I can see that he's like starting to tense up, I got no shame in the game to straight up, full blown yell at that other dog. Just straight look at that dog in his face and act a fool. I got no shame in my game. I don't care. I don't care what that owner thinks. I don't care. I know that this dog here starts to trust and respect me more. So it takes him longer to have to deal with getting into a battle with something else, because he knows that I'm going to take care of it. He's not a dog that I'm out in public that he's gone. He's not that dog. This dog, I don't care. This dog, I don't turn my back on him because I have to basically advocate for him when he runs into a situation that who knows what's going on. And it's just, it works out because he doesn't really like to go places anyways. But more than likely, it's because something has traumatized him to make him just get in that stance of, this is just who I am. And it's me that I'm constantly working to get him to get into a better place. This is the part that a lot of folks just get stuck on this. Oh, your dog is reactive and you should just be able to snap it out. It should be perfect in 2 weeks. That's not the reality of it. Stuff happens to not only just dogs, but us as humans, that some stuff happens to things that we just don't recover. I don't care what you do. I don't care what training you do. I don't care what any of that. There's some things that you just don't recover from. You can like tolerate and deal and be able to just understand that life is pretty good, but there's some stuff that you don't come back from. And it's always, you can go, and it's always just going to be there. And since it's always going to be there, we learn how to just be able to deal with it. But it doesn't disappear. There's a lot of things that's happened in my life that I'm not just like, oh, perfect, everything's great. No, I just know today that how far to go into certain situations and how and when to just walk away from certain situations. That's why for me today, why I don't like to argue, bicker and battle with people, because I know it happens to me if I keep going too far into it. It's not affecting the other person. It's going to affect me. It's going to destroy me because of who I am and what I am, because of whatever has happened to me at whatever time. That's just that it just is what it is. And I have to realize what I can do and what I need to do my best to try to stay away from. And that's what I see with the dogs. I'm not running away. I just put extra rules upon, I would say, or extra safety things in place to be able to make sure. Oh, hold on. Extra safety things in place to make sure that everything is going to be able to be all right. And for me, that's studying my dog and realizing he's just not a dog to be in public 30 feet ahead of me. He's a dog that just needs to be in this bubble. Out here on the property, I still, when I walk out here in this field with this dog, I have him stay close. He's with me. I don't let him just go off and be free unless the cows are over there and we're walking that way. I don't care. But the thing is, he has it in him. What I'm going to straight say is he's scared of them. So he's scared of them and he's trying to get them to get out. But then he always fails 100% of the time because they are more tough than he is. So then he runs away. So then they're just playing this battle back and forth. So for me, I'm just like, dude, we're not doing that at all. I'm not even going to allow you to get to that point. And because there's a thing that some dogs, they don't chase things in a healthy manner. They chase it because they're terrified and scared of it, not because they're happy and excited about it. And this dog chases because he's terrified. He has to get it out or it's going to get me. That's how he chases, because even at nighttime, like when I do my mouse hunting and stuff with the dogs, he's out. But the day one, day two, he would be chasing. Today, weeks later, he goes off and does his own thing because it's not exciting to him at all. The other dogs, they're like, let's get some, let's get in this. But him, he's just like, no. So he's off just sniffing, doing what he's doing. He is completely disinterested in knowing that like to go and do the chase. He doesn't enjoy it. He likes to do a run out for himself, but he just doesn't chase because it's not healthy for him. And I just have to understand that that's just who he is. That's what he's about. And once we start to understand that, I'm able to do things much, much, much better. Like me being able to just stand here and have him just sit next to these cows, especially the little baby one here. The little baby one here, he's got the most spunk. He's got the most attitude. For him to just sit here next to him now, I couldn't do this years ago. This is just working and working and working and working and working and not giving up and continue to keep working and continue to keep going. And also at the same time, something that is just pretty fascinating. If this bull here, this little baby bull here, tries to give me some attitude or tries to give him some attitude, I can shoo him away. And then worst case scenario, if he really doesn't want to get shooed away, I can go get my border collie and shoo him away. So that's also is what really helps this dog out. And that's the concept of us being that leader to our dog of saying, hey, I know you're scared of that and get the heck out of here. Get out of here. And what messes it up is the unfortunate part that I stumble sometimes, but not so much anymore, where I get it. You're like a little shy, you're a little nervous, you don't want to speak up. You know, when someone comes in, oh, you're a cute dog, and want to touch dog, and you just kind of just stand there like, woman, get the heck off my dog. But you don't like vocalize it, you just like deal with it. I know that's hard, but this is a part where it's just some stuff that we have to do to get, this isn't only going to help your dog out, but it is going to help you out so much. It's okay to tell somebody no. It's okay to tell someone to get out of your face. It's okay to tell someone, don't be touching on my stuff, man. It's okay to just verbally look at them and verbally say to right in their eyes, lock in their eyes and say, no, I don't want you to touch my dog. No, I don't want you to even look at my dog. No, get away from my dog. It's okay to do that. And that's the part that is going to, for sure, your dog is going to start to get into a better place. It's not going to just be perfect, but it's going to get into a better place. That if someone did come and touch this dog, it's going to take time for him to get to that point that it's like, nah, I don't want you to actually do that to me. He's cool with anybody touching him in reality. He's not cool with dogs to just get run up into his face. He is not cool with that. He's not cool with that. And if I see someone with their leash and their dog is dragging them all over the place, I can, at this point today, unclip his collar and say, hey, you know what, go over there instead, to make it a little bit easier for myself today. But that's only based on him understanding that I'm going to get that threat out. I'm going to get it out. That's why at the end of the day, you know, I used to, It's just wild to me how much I've really changed in how I see the animals today. But I used to like talk so much about people with their long lines out there and letting your dogs just run over here and run over there. And that is in reality what is almost like mandatory for a lot of these dogs. The 6 feet is just not enough for a lot of them. They need 10, they need 15, they need 20. 20 is usually like the max that I usually see, that the dog just like, it needs a little bit of space. And if you give that dog a little bit of that space, it gives the dog to not go into like burst overload. It just, it settles, and it's just like, okay, everything is okay. And then we can reel the dog back in and then be able to say like, okay, we're good to go. Let's move without the dog having to like explode. And this is the part for me where I just say, if you do that, stay away from the treats, stay away from toys, stay away from praise, stay away from pets, stay away from talking to them, stay away from looking at them, stay away from all of it. Because all that does is it reinforces that scaredness. You just want to be neutral and do absolutely nothing with the dog and be there. Allow the dog to get scared. The dog will get through it. That's the part of me that you say I'm a positive only trainer. I'm not. I put the dogs through the stress to get the dogs used to the stress to be able to move past the stress. I don't like to put the dog in the middle, like day one with this. I wouldn't put this dog right here like this day one. It might be too much stress for him because he would literally be barking at this moment. He would have just, he'd be barking and lunging. And it would be too much. I would get further away to the point of seeing when he's about to get to a weird place. And that alone starts to build him to trust me. Not running away from it, but we can get through this. And that's what builds their I don't know how else to say it, but like their calluses up of being able to deal with the problems. It takes longer to get hurt. It takes longer to get broke down. It takes longer to have to react. It takes longer to get to that point that they have to do something because we're not able to do it for them. I always want a dog that I don't care what dog across the board. Even my border collie, he's very confident. He's a very tough dog, but he gets scared in some circumstances. But I never want my dog to think that they have to go do something and they're all alone. I want them to know that I'm here with them. But I'm not here with you to say, let's go fight. That's what messes up a lot of people with a lot of dogs, because you've been doing that for so long. You've been so short on that leash and forcing that dog into it that the dog thinks that we're going to fight together. The language that I always give to my dogs, why dogs rarely mess with my dogs anymore, are the ones that I take out, my Dalmatian and my Shepherd here. Because this Shepherd, he's got that energy that like, I don't know what it is. He's got like that, come, let's fight type energy. I don't know what it is that he gives off, but he gives off something that the other dogs just love to just get all in this dude's face. He gives off something very, very weird. And the more and more that I've been able to just get him to understand we are not going into a fight, the more that the other dogs actually don't want to fight anymore. They're more of like, oh, okay, we're not doing this. And that started by me saying to that dog, get out of here. I literally would say that. If he's locked in looking at a dog, I say, Kahi, because in reality, the unfortunate thing is I was messing up with was putting him in that perfect heel, and then he'd be walking next to me, and then if he would look and growl at a dog, I'm going to step. No, there's no growling, there's no eyeballing, there's no barking, there's no nothing when you're in heel. I said heel. And that messed him up a little bit. So in reality, he's, in my mind, is looking at it, was he's thinking that we're going to go to battle together then. Where I'm like, no, we're going away from the battle. So when I started to remove from the battle, he started to realize like, oh, you don't want me to fight. And that started to just calm a lot of things down. And it started to be able to, he creeping closer and closer to get to this bull. Because I don't mind him investigating him, but this bull will kick you in the face, homie, so get a little bit of space. But the main thing is I want them to know that we are not going into this fight. That's why we're going over here. That's why we're, the best way of saying it is just what I can say with what I do in my life today. I don't go into no battles. I'm running away from the battle. And I'm not, I don't know what word, I don't want to use that word in that sense. But I'm not trying to be like a pushover. I'm not trying to be like a child. I'm going to be the adult here to say, I'm not going to fight with nobody. I'm not going to fight with anything. I'm not going to fight with that. Because a lot of times what ends up in our brains is you think that something is going to be able to push you around because you're just always running away. And running away is not as easy as it seems. Just going in and fighting, that's what's easy. And that's what's easily going to destroy and mess you up in the future. But if you just get the heck out of it, get out of the situation, stay out of the situation, and you're going to notice that it's going to start to get better and better, that you're going to be able to actually deal with the situation if you actually need to. And you're not on edge and on alert all the time, over and over. Because it's a big problem I had with this dog here. Because if I had him outside, he would just bark because he could jump, man. He could jump 6 feet. This is the biggest problem I had with him because he was always scared of this. He was always scared of the chickens. He was always scared of the donkey. So when he could see them from anywhere, he could see them from out there, he would oh my goodness, he'd be barking, going crazy, jump the fence, try to chase him, try to bum rush him, trying to get him out. And then all I would hear is, ah! And then him running back limping because the bull will kick him, he'd kick him. The donkey will kick him. The chickens don't mess with him too much. But he didn't do too much with the chickens. It's these big animals here that really got into him. I see that boy way down there. I don't want him to get close to that street. He's good. But he would always come out to try to chase these guys because he's just scared of them. He's trying to get them to get the heck out of here. But once he started to realize, like, or I could say to tell him, you don't have to get into this battle. Johnny, come here. You don't have to get into this battle. Because like right there, I don't know if you can hear that. No one can ever hear my dogs growl, but only I can hear him growl. He's got too much into him. And this little baby bull, he's not as weak. Johnny, get out of there. He's not as weak. And he's putting pressure on him now of like, get out of here, basically. And because they're bouncing back and forth doing that. But the thing is, my border collie, he can make them disappear in a flash. He can't do it. So he tries to go extra. What does a dog do when it needs to go extra? It's got to bark, it's got to growl, it's got to bite. It's got to do some crazy stuff because it's just not secure to get done what it needs to get done. But when I just say to the dude, no, we don't need to worry about that. Don't worry about that. Then everything is going to be much, much better. And this is the part that it's hard because like this bull, he's like your average little dog that's like egging it on, man. He's putting the pressure on. And he's just like, hey, look at you. And that's, I hate putting it like that. I hate using the word hate, but that's how a lot of dogs are out in public. Look at you, look what I can do. And they're taunting and egging it on. And then your dog has to deal with that. So for me, that's for a prime example of why I say, no, we're not going to be in this. We're not going to be in this. So right now he's getting a little too much. So I'm going to walk it out and walk him around to say we're not getting into this. So it's been, I don't know how long, but this is a very long while. This is why for him, he's not the dog at this moment today. I don't practice to work on it, to worry about it, to go to the restaurant and sit down for an hour and expect that he's just going to lay under the table and just be there and do nothing. He's got a little extra in him. He's got extra in him right now that he's starting to build. But I'm saying I don't want to get into this. And this is the part here that for me, this is when the training starts of what I'm trying to get from this dog. This whole time up until now, he's been like, nah, just whatever, I could deal with this. But now we're getting to that point that he's just like, he might even start barking here in a half a second. He's trying to even pull into it. He's trying to get there. He's doing, Kahi, get out of here. He's trying to do the extra. He's trying to do the most. He's starting to get like, I gotta do so. I gotta go. Oh my goodness, I need to make something happen. And this is the part that I have to stand here and just, cool, dude. Cool. Awesome. I see what you're doing. What's going on? Cool. Awesome. You can see that this dog, he has zero cares. Kahi, get out of here. Get off of him. He's not in it right yet. It's not even just raised my own dogs I gotta help him out with because he's insecure. He's insecure. And now he's trying to just, he's not calm anymore. He was calm for a little bit and now he's not. And now I have to be calm. Now I can't start to freak out. Now I need to relax. Now I need to just chill and just be here and just be that body to say, I know there's something going on with you, but we're going to be okay. We're going to be all right. Everything is going to be okay here, man. Everything will be fine. And then he's going to eventually just get out of it. This is the part that, yes, this dog is stressed at this moment right now. This is the part that I'm not going to just, if he was barking at this moment, I'd move. I'd move a little bit. But he's just pacing and doing what he's doing. He's pulling into the collar a little bit, but not too much. So we're going to stay in this right here. We're going to stay here. He's stressed. This is the part of what I was just saying earlier. I'm positive, but this is the part that he has to deal with. He has to deal with this. He's going to be able to get through this. And the more that I could get him to get through this, the more that he's going to be able to just have more time to get to, like, even now. I've got well enough time I'm happy with at this moment today of being able to have him around the cows, knowing that I'm rarely ever standing next to him, hanging with them for more than 20 minutes. I'm usually standing with them for 5 minutes or so. So I know that if I could push it out 20 minutes at this moment today, that he is pretty much for a fact going to be able to do what I need to do to dance around the world. And that's how he is with other dogs. Even my shepherd Kahi, I don't know what it is with these two with him, that he don't like him. He don't like him. My border collie don't like him. My Pyrenees don't like him. My Dalmatian, she loves the dude, but their energy is like, they're the same. They're the matching how they are. But so when he starts to get all in his face, I'm saying, hey, no, dude. Whereas day one, And then he would have just tried to go crazy on this dog, like try to bite him, try to just push him out, try to manhandle, try to do whatever dogs do to get him out. But now I have more and more and more time, because every single time that something happens, I could push him away. Every time, push him away. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. And that's the part where it's best to start with a dog that you know that someone else has like pretty good control over, to get next to your dog to like, no, actually get him out of here. So you don't have to, if that other person has zero control over the dog, you move and get the heck out of here. But if the dog is able to listen to the owner, then we can be able to use that to be able to help him fast track to be able to get stuff done. And I do that with my dogs all the time. That's how I got him to not worry about dogs barking, my Kahi Shepherd man there, to not have to care about dogs barking at him, because I could set it up a scenario here of a dog on the other side of the fence barking, and he would just look at it like, oh, I don't need to worry about that. I'm like, no, we're good. So he doesn't do it. So I use my dogs all the time to help each other out, to each dog to get into a better place. And that's a valuable tool to be able to, I'm going to say, fast track your success, because it's in a said controlled manner, as opposed to being out in public somewhere. Dang, Johnny. Chill out, man. We good. You actually pulled the first time right there, was the hardest I've felt you pull in a while. I see you, boy. And this is the part right here that I'm going to say is the hardest. You see the little eyes that he give me, like, oh, please, please, in a way of like, even just save me. And I don't want to touch him right now, because that's going to give him the wrong information of what it is that I'm looking for from him. I want him to just get out of this, get out of it. And this is the main thing I want my dog to really, really understand, is if what over there is scaring, Johnny, come here. If what over there is scaring you, I'll be in the middle of it for you. You stay there, we'll keep them there. If the dog is in front of you, you get behind me, I'll stay here, I'll take care of it. I don't need you to worry about it. So right there, when that little girl, that big girl put some pressure on Kahi, because Kahi also doesn't move the cows around. So when that girl put pressure, now Johnny's like, oh my goodness, we're in danger. And I'm just gonna say, we are still not in danger. We're still okay. Everything is fine. Everything is all right. And I just keep doing this over and over and over. And I watch the dog start to understand, to be able to listen to me. Because right now, every time I say his name, I'm able to get him to get out of it, because he's not out of it. If he's out of it, there's no talking. There's no leash, there's no anything. That's the problem, that we stumble. Because when a dog isn't listening at all, that's when you need the prong collar, because you need to like snap the dog out of that. Where I'll say it seems like it works, but it only works in that moment. We didn't actually like get the dog to like get through that. Kahi, get out of here. We didn't get the dog to have to get through. Oh man, you soaking wet. You in the water trough. This dude over here is swimming. We didn't work him to get through that stress. We just like invalidated that stress and just pressured him to say, don't be scared of that. In reality, kind of be scared of me instead. And that's just, some dogs, it works. Straight up, I've seen it. I've done it even in my past. I've done it straight up. And it works. But most dogs, it doesn't work. And that's why you get stuck with, Kahi, get out of here. That's when you constantly need to keep using the pressure over and over and over and over and over and over and over again all the time, and you just can't get away from the pressure, because they're not actually like showing the dog what it is that we're looking for. And that's the part with me that I wish that if anyone is struggling with that, because I got all the same issues that everybody has. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, my dogs are perfect, I could take them anywhere. I'm not that. Straight up, this dog, I do not let off leash. Kahi, leave my man alone. And it's like, he knows, because he's really good at helping out dogs in reality with like when they're nervous. But he has something that happened to him, and I don't know what, and I don't know when, and he was like this when I got him. He growled at all the dogs. The first day I got this dude out of the kennel from the school I was working him in, he was growling at every dog. He didn't bark much, but he would just have that growl showing that teeth. It's just who he was. And as weird as it is with this dog, he was one that would growl and show teeth at girls. He didn't do it with guys. He's cool with guys, but girls, he's super sketchy with feet. It's still even today. He's a little like, girls don't touch me. But guys, man, they can do whatever they want to this dog. He's cool with it. But he's that weird one that usually it's the opposite of that. But he's stuff that I'm working on. And the reasons why I don't really want to get rid of him, but he'd be a really nice dog for somebody. But I really like him because he shows me that there's just not no overnight fix. There's stuff that we're going to continue to keep on working on, to continue to keep on getting into a better and better place. And that's the reality of this. There's no such thing as your dog is trained and we're done. We're constantly working until the day we die on this planet. There's no just, I'm finished up. Here we are. I can just sit and everything, sit and relax. No, we're working and working. And each dog is going to be different with that. Like my Dalmatian at this point, I put in a heavy dose of work walking her, running her, playing with her, hanging out with her. So much for what, 7, 8, I think I said 7 months now, 7 months, so much. And I'm seeing a really nice transformation. And I'm going to say that's going to that's her. Where my border collie, man, I've never had issues with this dog. He barked at, I think, one person in the van or in my old truck one time, and I was like, Oreo, don't do that. And he's like, he's never done it again. He doesn't have those issues. And my Pyrenees, since the day I got him, he's been super shy, super insecure. And I've been building and building and building. The day I got this dog, and I'm working and working and working. Years later, I've had this dog since, so January 21 is the first time I saw him. So I've had him for 3.5 years, and he's not perfect. We're working and working and working to get better and better and better. And that's what I want to always make sure everyone really understands when you're listening to these people that are just like, oh, your dog's, what's wrong with your dog? It should be perfect already. But yet theirs is a mess. And that's the thing that is just the most challenging that I've realized. When someone else's stuff is even more of a mess, they have all the stuff to say. They have all the stuff to say about how bad everything is about what you got going on. It's just their insecurities projecting outwardly. They're projecting out the negative. I don't know what this is, but this is just humans. We project out the negative stuff. We rarely want to project out the good stuff. That takes working on yourself and understanding something. And with that, I want to say thank you. And I want to move on to the second part of my talks that I'm going to change up what it is that I'm doing. Because there's something that I've been asking and wondering and praying and looking for about making sure of what it is that I'm doing here. And making sure that my message is complete with what it is that I talk about. Because I talk about these dogs in a way that I hope that people start to understand that it's not all the dog. It's us as humans that we need stuff to work on. And the stuff that I have been able to work on to be able to get myself in a better place has been able to help me get these dogs into a better place. Because when I was jealous, when I was envious, when I was even extra anxious and extra worried, paranoid, when I was, Johnny, I'm telling you, you ain't got to get in it. You can walk away. When I was that way, just focused on seeing my problems and trying to go head first into it, not realizing like I actually don't need to because it's not even going to help me out. It's actually going to hurt me. It's going to hurt him, literally, physically and mentally, if he actually tries to go after these cows. He'll get these, I got 5. He'll get these four, the 3 girls and a boy, the baby bull to go away. But the big bull that's back around the corner, he gonna kick this dude. He's not gonna win. And so him going into all these problems is actually making him worse, as opposed to realizing there's some things that he needs to work on. And that's stuff that I realized that I needed to work on. And that's the whole process and the concept of the Bible that I read, that I believe in, that I really have come to understand is the way to go. It's the way to go. It's the way to be. And I know everyone's got everything to say about it, but I'm standing here on a day of today from years and years and years ago of being just a worthless human being is all that I can say. A human being that is just absolutely disgusting. Just a nasty human being in reality. Just a nasty one is all that I was. Always hateful, always enraged, always anger, always worrying about what someone else has, always worrying about how I don't have and woe is me and my life sucks and I'm no good. And all that has changed in reality from me. And all that has changed for me. Johnny, come here. All that has changed in reality. A single day, something happened to me that just made me look at the world much differently. Because I was a person that was just always about, I just want to die. I don't want to be on this planet no more. That was my life. And things have pushed me and moved me, and all I can say is God has pushed me and moved me to be here where I am. And that's how I was thinking when I got here. And then things started changing. I started seeing stuff. I started seeing, like, I saw this little boy be alive out here. He was born out here. He was born, where were you born? He was born in those trees back there. I watched him the whole way, and something about that is just sparked like life in me to see it much, much differently. And then when I started to just really understand these dogs in a different way of like, I would see them, like, I don't, this might sound weird, but I'd see them the way that I was, just hurt, broken, feeling pointless, paranoid, anxious, worried, and just all of that. I would see that in them. And then I would be wondering, like, what, Johnny, why is this dog acting this way? Why is this dog being like this? Why is this dog in this stance? And then I started to realize what, in reality, not only just I was doing, but what is almost something that I'm going to say is it just in us. Just like we all have anger and frustration, rage, hate. But we all have the opportunity to say, do I want to stay in that, or do I want to go into being more kind and compassionate, loving and caring? And it takes work to get out of the hate. It takes work to get into being compassionate. It doesn't just show up. You have to keep working at it. And that's what I was doing with these dogs, is working at that, working at being kind, work at being just understanding and just letting them understand that I'm not here to hurt you. I'm here to work with you. I'm not here to abuse you. I'm here to make sure to see the best in you. Even if it hurts me a little bit sometimes, because I want stuff, I want it. But when I started to really let all that go, I started to just see that the dogs just followed my lead. And that's how I've been able to just simplify and just live and just be here. Something that I see a lot of people today that are struggling with. You're struggling with simply just being able to just sit down. I go to this gym workout place and hit this treadmill to get in my faster, heavy miles in. And it's fascinating to see that people don't know how to just, you can't just do. You gotta like be in the middle of everything. You can't just like be in existence. You can't just do a task and just focus on that task and get that task done. Your mind is like everywhere. And that's damaging us. It's damaging us. It's putting you further and further into self-hate and not self-love. And that's one huge thing that I want more people to really understand with everything that I talk about in all of my videos. I'm not talking about the dogs. I don't think I may have had like 5 minutes of a video that I'm just like dog, dog, dog. But everything I'm talking about is us. Because if we can get into a better place, that's what's going to be able to get the dog into a better place. They follow our lead. If we're anxious and nervous, the dog is. If we're aggressive, tough, and rough, the dog is. And I've realized that most cases, the dogs don't want to be in certain states because it's uncomfortable for them. As much as everyone likes today to see the dogs all excited and running and rampage, that's not healthy. It's not healthy. It's healthy for small doses in moderation, but it's not healthy to be in a house that your dog is just always going. It's not healthy. What's healthy is a dog that is just laying here right now. I'm utilizing the heat, the sun out here. I'm utilizing everything to be able to help me get what I need with this dog, of realizing that he's starting to get tired at this moment now. He's not only just getting mentally tired because of all the said pressure that I'm putting him on, but he's also starting to get physically tired. And those are things that we as a people are required to have. We just don't, we don't focus on that. We focus on escape as opposed to focusing on the problem. And that's why for me, my dogs at the end of the day are always going to look a way that someone is always going to have something negative to say, because you're just projecting out something that is negative in you. That's why for me, when I see comments, certain ones, it saddens me, it really does sadden me. It saddens me to just let me know of how stuck in a hole that a lot of people are. A lot of people are stuck in just in a hole that you think that you can't get out of, but I promise you can get out of it. You pray and do and ask and look for what it is that you need to be able to get better with, and you start to work on it. God's not here to just snap a finger and your life is perfect. No, it's you to do the work. God's already did the work. He's got all this here for us. He's already done all the work. You don't need to do no more work than the work that he's already done. He's done it all. Will he assist and help? Yeah, but you got to do the work. You got to get up and make it happen. You got to follow through. You got to pay attention. You got to learn what you need to work on. You got to start to study yourself to see what's hurting you, damaging you, slowing you down. You got to look at all of that. It's you that has to do that. I can't do it for you. Because as much as I can look at you and say, hey, you should work on this, as much as you, depending on where you are in your life, you're going to do the opposite. You're going to reject it. So that's why sometimes I'll say something sketchy, but I don't do this anymore because I just was praying and asking about it, and I don't feel like it's the right way to go. Knowing that you're not going to do what I say and do the opposite, I would lie to manipulate, to tell you to do something of knowing that you're going to do the opposite, and then you would actually get success. Like, I understand that, but something in me said not to do that. Because I know how to help a lot of people out with your dogs in reality by telling you to do something that you're like, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this over here. And you will get success, because that's just how we are as humans. When we're just not really living in what I want to say is a loving, compassionate way. When we're living in our hateful side, you don't want to listen to a single thing a single person has to say, because you know it all already. You're the master. You're the, I was going to say that. No, I'm not going to say that. You're the master. You're the God. You're the one that's got it all figured out. And if you're the master, you're the God, you're the one that's got it all figured out, why is stuff a mess? Why is it a mess? Why is it all in chaos? Just something to really, really think about. Ready to go, Johnny? My homie ready to get out of here. Heel. Hey, Johnny, sit. You're good. She's fine. Sit. Johnny. This dude, this is the part that I don't like, obedience. He's nervous right now, and I'm telling him to do something. So he's not being disobedient to me. He's just protecting himself. And if I use that I said sit right now, that's the part that I believe personally, I don't know it all. I don't know. I'm sorry. I knew it was gonna happen. I know it all that that's the part that I'm gonna end up getting into a battle with this dog. And that little one there, that's the baby. She's the one that challenges the dogs at first because she's the baby. She's the smallest, she's the weak, she's the weakest. And that's the part that gets the dogs to like, no, are you tough enough to move us or not? And he's not. He came in, but he ran away. My border collie wouldn't even bark. He wouldn't even flinch. No, I don't call him right now. He wouldn't do nothing. That dude would just look at that cow and just say, get out of my way. And the cow's like, oh, okay. Whereas he has to use all this extraness. That's the only thing I say is the fakeness there. That's the fakeness, man. That's that fake that just, why for me personally, as much as I like certain things with my dogs, I stay away from it because it puts us into wanting to fight. Then it puts the dog and it makes it even more insecure. Because even like right there, when I started saying sit, he started to get insecure because he's like, what's going to happen? And then that's when that cow wanted to look at him. This whole time, I never said a single word to him, never said nothing to him. He never engaged. He looked, he had a little bit, but he never engaged. He engaged, the cow didn't engage first. He engaged that cow to want to get into his face. He engaged as soon as I started speaking to him. As soon as I started telling him to do stuff, as soon as I started like, hey, what you doing? That's what messes up the dogs, in my opinion. You just leave them alone. They'll get through these stressors and everything will be okay. Everything will be fine. They'll just get right past it, no problems. Oh, you're going to smell his butt.